Hey, what's up, everyone? Back for this Friday slate. We got 10 games tonight to dig into. So let's get started. You can drop a like and subscribe down below. Appreciate it. So, starting off here at point guard, still waiting on the Anthony Davis news tonight. If he's out, then LeBron becomes one of the better plays on the slate at 11K. If he's in, I don't think you need to play LeBron, but I think he's still a fine option here. I'm not really on Luka today. I just think the price point is up there at 12.6, and the Lakers are one of the better defensive teams in the league. So, if that burns me, it burns me, but I think they're better plays, and there's not a ton of value right now. If we get more value, then maybe I'll consider Luka. I think Trae Young's fine. You got a great matchup against the Wizards. Hopefully Bradley Beal's back for this one. I like Devin Booker, continues to put up 30-plus points. I think Devin Booker and Zach LaVine are both strong plays. They both never really get a ton of ownership, especially Zach LaVine, and he's at a decent price point. I mean, he's not cheap, but he's been super consistent, and he has that big-time ceiling that we like to look for. And Drew Holiday's still out, so you could still look at like Lonzo Ball. Although I prefer him on Fanduel at 7,300 on Draftkings. He's kind of priced where he should be. And then I like John Moran at 7,200. He's a little bit more of just a GPP play. You can't really play him in cash just because the minutes aren't as secure as some of these other players, and his production can be a little bit up and down. But if D'Angelo Russell is back here, I think it looks like he probably will be back. He's going to be one of my better favorite plays. Just at the point guard and shooting guard position at 73 is nice and cheap. Only missed 5 games, so he shouldn't really be on any restriction. And they did send Kai Bowman down to the G League, so it's a pretty good sign that D'Angelo Russell will be back tonight. So I'm going to highlight him at point guard. And then that kind of takes away, if Bradley Beal's also back, that doesn't make me want to play Jordan McRae, or if Russell's back, I don't really want to play Alec Burks that much. I think Murray's fine at 6K, but I'm liking Markelle Fultz here, 5,800. DJ Augustine is doubtful for this contest, so instead of 31 minutes out of Markelle Fultz, we should probably see like 33, 34 minutes here. They're still missing Michael Carter-Williams, so they don't really have a backup point guard, so I think it's going to be more minutes for Fultz, and then you'll probably get Evan Fournier getting some backup point guard minutes here just because they don't have, they're missing. If they miss Augustine, they're also going to be missing MCW. So there's a lot of minutes to go around here. And Fultz been playing pretty well as of late. He has been contributing in pretty much all aspects. His scoring is definitely up and down, but the rebounds are there. The assists are there most nights. And if he gets a couple steals, then, he's going to shoot at least like 9 to 10 shots. If he's shooting well, then he can get up there. And it's a fine matchup against Phoenix. The Phoenix defense has been pretty bad as of late. Over at shooting guard, Paul George is out for this one. I don't know why he's shooting guard eligible, but I guess that's what the new thing DraftKings wants to do, have every player have multiple positions. But really at this position here, I like Bradley Beal if he's in. I like Devin Booker. I like Zach LaVine for tournaments. Jimmy Butler, I like him. I like DeMar DeRozan, 72. And then he could go Fournier at 61, just without Augustine most likely. That you could, they kind of priced up Josh Hart, not getting a big discount there, and they priced up Tim Hardaway as well, so they kind of priced some of these guys up. But I think Kendrick Nunn is still okay at 4,600. And that's kind of it at this position here. I think one of my favorite plays would probably be Devin Booker at 8,400. It's not an easy matchup against Orlando, but they've been about middle of the pack over the past couple weeks, and missing Isaac isn't going to, missing Isaac for the last couple games isn't going to make them any better. He's been super consistent, as you see, 7 straight games of 30-plus points, and he's been contributing in assist numbers have been there. Ricky Rubio has been struggling, and that's kind of been, with Rubio's struggle, it's been Devin Booker's success. They just kind of been inversely correlated. And at this price point, he can still crush. So I like Devin Booker at not a super strong shooting guard position, especially at the top. You have a couple guys that stick out like Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and then D'Angelo Russell. But you also do have those guys you can play. Some of those guys you can play at small forward. Like here at small forward, I'm looking at like Giannis. I think's fine at 11-1. Kawhi's okay. They kind of price him up though at 9,900. He's still, without Paul George, it's going to be a little bit easier for him to make value, but he's also not been lighting the world on fire. Now almost at a 10K price point. He basically needs 60 out of him. You can play Bradley Beal at small forward. You can play Butler at small forward. You can play DeRozan at small forward. So you can play a lot of shooting guards at small forward today, and mostly probably going forward on DraftKings. But I like DeMar DeRozan at 7,200 against Memphis. It's just a really good spot. They play awful defense. DeRozan's been on fire over the past couple weeks. All you see is high 30s and 40s, and you see like 150-point game, and that was against the Grizzlies, and that was also just in 29 minutes. So it is a good matchup for him. The Spurs have been playing better. I mean, they just beat Boston the other day. So I'm pretty sure they beat Milwaukee one of these days too. So they've been playing better. They are kind of found their identity, and it's been with DeRozan and Aldridge kind of leading the show, and then you get some production from Murray, and you get like the bench been playing pretty well too with now that Lonnie Walker's in the rotation. But DeRozan 7,200 is gonna be a solid option this on a slate tonight. I don't think he's gonna get that much ownership, but he's cheap and definitely has been solid and has the ceiling. Power forward Randall's out for this one still. You could get Morris back who's at 6,500. So if he's back, he could start in place of like Bullock. So that could be a spot to go to. Minutes are going to be there, and then it's a really good matchup against the Pelicans. And before he missed a couple games with his neck injury. He was playing well, so I think he could be on your radar. But here I like Marcus Aldridge 7,400. I like Favors 69. I think Harrell's going to be a good play. No Paul George, going to be more usage on offense, going to be more shots to go around. So I like Harrell. And then Bobby Portis is priced up on DraftKings. I think you could still go there, but he's not a super comfortable play at 6,400, especially if Morris does come back. And then for cheap here, Kuzma should start in place of Davis if he's out. That's what they said. So keep an eye on that. Hopefully we'll get that news pretty quickly. And then for a pump play, there's not really a ton that sticks out. Maybe if Giles won't be super appealing if they do get Bagley back tonight, and Giles also lost a lot of minutes in the second half due to Dwayne Dedmon. So that rotation is still in a fluid situation. So the guy that I think I'll probably like here at power forward is going to be Davis Bertans. Didn't really talk about him, but 59 for Davis. He's going to play in this one. He should probably start. Here, they are desperate to get a guy back. They've been very short on bodies for a while. And before they got hurt, Bertans has been playing very well. They've been playing a lot of minutes here. So last couple games before he got hurt, he wasn't shooting the ball particularly well. But we know he's a streaky shooter. And then when he does shoot, he's going to catch fire. And he can put up 40 and 50 fantasy points. It's a really good matchup. And he's at a really, really good price point. So tough fade for me at 5,900. And then at center here, at the top, if Davis plays, I think he's a good play. Sabonis, good play if he plays. I think Collins is fine at 8,500. I like Aldridge, Favors, Harrell. They stick out. Bagley, if he plays, and we know he's not going to be limited, could be worth a look. Although I don't think he's going to get a full run. Just he's always injured, so they'll probably take it easy on him. And then a value play that I like is Willie Cauley-Stein. He's 4,400. He's just really cheap. He's gonna get the bulk of the center minutes here. They not only they waived Marquise Chris a couple days ago, so Chris isn't gonna get backup center minutes anymore. And then if Bowman's gone, then there's just a couple. Not that Bowman does anything to Cauley-Stein, but there's just a little bit less players on the team now. There's not like they have 15 guys that can play. And if D'Angelo Russell's back, I think it's not going to hurt Cauley-Stein. It's just going to help him maybe keep the game a little bit more competitive. It's going to help him get some easy looks at the rim. And it could do some pick and roll stuff with D'Angelo Russell as well. So, I have him in for like 26, 27 minutes. He can get up to 30. And he's at a really cheap price point. And he'll probably play at least as many minutes as Zubac is on the floor. And he can play with some against Harrell too. So 4,400 for a guy that has that 30-point upside, I think is a pretty good play. And then at guard, I'm looking at D'Angelo Russell if he's in. I think he will be in, at least on DraftKings. If he's not, he can swap. But they transferred Kai Bowman down. I don't think there's any reason they would do that unless Russell will be back. And if he's back, he's at a good price point, 7,300. It's not a great matchup, but I think he's gonna take over like that 35-40% usage again, like he had been. And he's going to take a ton of shots and going to be facilitating as well. So D'Angelo Russell, 7,300 is also a really good play, just point per dollar wise. So that's what I was liking for Draftkings. And then for Fanduel here, take a quick look at it. So point guard here, Fanduel, I think Trae Young is appealing. Luka is fine. He's a little bit more appealing on Fanduel at this price, 11.4. I like Fox at 74. But Lonzo Ball is really nicely priced here, 64 for Lonzo Ball. They're still going to be missing Holiday. He had a tough matchup and just played pretty poorly against Chicago, but the minutes are going to be there, 36, 37 the last two. Triple-double upside for Lonzo. He's going to be definitely a guy that I look at. And then Markelle Fultz, another guy I like here at point guard, just going to get some extra minutes without Augustine. Probably can get up to like 34, 35. Hopefully in those 5 minutes he can put up like 5, 6 more fantasy points. And that's the difference between like 35 fantasy points and 40 fantasy points. And at 5,700, he's at a very favorable price. So those are the two guys I kind of like right now at point guard. Over at shooting guard, Devin Booker is okay. I think he's a little bit priced up on FanDuel. At least I kind of prefer going to definitely prefer going to Bradley Beal at 76, assuming he plays. Definitely like DeRozan a little bit more at 7K, and I like D'Angelo Russell. The Russell situation a little bit more tricky on FanDuel. If you don't get word before lock, then tough to trust that he's gonna play. But hopefully we'll get some clarity this afternoon. And then you also have two other guys in this 6,200 range, Hield and Lou Williams, that stick out. Also Fournier at 58. He's cheap and he's gonna get more minutes here tonight. And then you also got Josh Hart, 4,400. Who's another cheap pump play they could look at. So there's a lot of shooting guards on FanDuel that look pretty good. And then small forward, if you're going to pay up for LeBron or Giannis, I think they both look pretty good. Giannis, I kind of would probably go to Giannis if Davis does play. If Davis doesn't play, then I would go to LeBron. Could also go to Brandon Ingram as well. He's dealing with a pinky injury that might affect his shooting a little bit, but we'll see. If he's not on the injury report, then I feel comfortable playing him. And then for value here, you could look at Tim Hardaway's cheap again on FanDuel, 4,200. You have Rudy Gay, 4,100, and then Harkless could be a fine option as well. Power forward, I like Kawhi, 94. I think Sabonis is fine at 91. But really, a couple of guys that stick out are in this range. LaMarcus Aldridge, 74. Derek Favors at just 66. And then Aaron Gordon is questionable. If he's out, then you could play Khem Birch at a minimum price pretty much on both sides. He's really cheap. It's not minimum, but he's close to the minimum on DraftKings. FanDuel is close to the minimum as well at 3,900. But Davis Bertans also really cheap here on FanDuel at 5,100 is going to be a core play for me, assuming he starts and he's not going to be on a limit or anything. And then at center, they didn't price up Bobby Portis, so I like Bobby Portis, 4,400. I like Montrezl Harrell at 6,500. Those are the two that stick out. But really, Portis, if he starts again, and he could have played even more minutes. He played 28, and he shot awful, 5 of 17. But he's going to get the rebounds, and it's a really good matchup. So, going to be a fast-paced game. Should probably stay close. Neither team is particularly good, especially with Holiday out for the Pelicans. So, I think they can stay in this game. But yeah, those are the plays I'm liking for both sites, DraftKings and FanDuel as of now. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You can drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and good luck today.